Across America, traditional regional fairs and sprawling shopping malls are struggling to maintain foot traffic, with many facing permanent closure. Yet in Dallas, Texas, one highly localized event consistently defies this trend. In less than a month, the State Fair of Texas draws 2.4 million visitors and generates an estimated $680 million in regional economic impact. A 138-year-old event built around livestock exhibitions and deep-fried food should, by conventional metrics, be growing stale. Instead, attendance numbers and profits reliably climb year after year. The event functions as a meticulously engineered flywheel, a self-reinforcing system where civic infrastructure, regional economics, and behavioral psychology continuously feed into one another. Dissecting these internal gears reveals how an organization can convert high-volume attendance into long-term, resilient infrastructure. The stability of today's fair was born out of early operational chaos. In 1886, rival factions of businessmen in East Dallas and North Dallas launched competing fairs simultaneously. The duplication of effort split the crowds and generated crushing financial deficits for both groups. By 1887, the rivals merged to survive, but the financial instability continued. Following a disastrous fire that leveled the main exhibit building in 1902 and a legislative ban on horse race gambling, the fair faced complete ruin. To preserve the event, organizers struck a public-private partnership with the city of Dallas in 1904, securing a permanent home at Fair Park. That early exposure to near collapse established a culture of rapid engineering and crisis management that dictates how the fair operates today. On live television during the final weekend of the 2012 fair, an electrical short inside a speaker wire ignited the right boot of Big Tex. Within minutes, the iconic mascot was reduced to a charred metal skeleton. Planners used the disaster to upgrade the asset. By the opening of the 2013 fair, Big Tex was back, re-engineered with a heavier steel skeleton, standing 3 feet taller and wearing size 96 boots. Repeated historical friction forced the fair to evolve from a fragile expo into a durable, permanent infrastructure. Today, safely processing 2.4 million visitors requires the logistical capacity of a fully functioning pop-up city. Most regional fairs lease their entire amusement footprint to a single traveling carnival company. The State Fair of Texas operates an independent midway. Management handpicks roughly 75 specific rides from various independent contractors across North America. This modular approach requires rigorous spatial planning. Every concession booth and roller coaster must be independently certified by structural engineers and integrated into the strict preservation guidelines of the 277-acre National Historic Landmark footprint. To monitor this massive footprint, organizers recently implemented a 24/7 State Fair Command Center, bringing in a former director of the Dallas Office of Emergency Management to oversee operations. Pedestrian flow is managed at the perimeters using CEIA open-gate weapons detection systems to expedite entry, while a localized mass notification network covers the grounds to manage crowd routing during severe weather. Inside the gates, waste management teams run continuous disposal loops. Synchronized shifts of municipal workers process millions of discarded items daily to ensure the park does not buckle under the sheer volume of its own refuse. By securing this baseline of civic infrastructure, organizers prevent high-density crowds from deteriorating into gridlock, clearing the way for the economic engine to operate. Because the logistical friction is so low, visitors are free to consume efficiently, resulting in a massive flow of capital over a highly condensed timeline. In 2023, independent researchers measured the fair's total economic impact on the North Texas region at $680 million. This chart visualizes how that wealth is distributed. $422 million is categorized as core impact. The remaining balance comes from secondary impacts. But as highlighted here, over $268 million is fresh money injected directly into Dallas by out-of-town visitors. This concentrated influx of cash sustains over 4,400 local jobs, injects millions into historic preservation, and provides a massive retail platform. The fair operates as a wealth distribution network, leveraging an amusement park setting to drive regional growth. Physical infrastructure and economic strategy can only process demand. They cannot create it. So what behavioral triggers compel millions of people to consistently fund the system? First is the deliberate use of artificial scarcity. By restricting operations to a strict 24-day window each fall, the fair weaponizes the fear of missing out, forcing attendees to consolidate their spending into a brief, urgent timeframe. Second, the fair engineers highly shareable social proof. Events like the Big Tex Choice Awards incentivize vendors to create the most outrageous fried foods possible, effectively turning the attendees into a massive, decentralized marketing team. Finally, the event leverages generational identity. Decades-old rituals, like using the 55-foot cowboy as a physical meeting point, create deep psychological anchors that transition the fair from a simple entertainment option into a mandatory family tradition. This psychological lock ensures the crowd's return to supply the capital, which funds the logistics, which supports the economy. The flywheel spins itself. Moving forward, organizers are looking to reduce friction even further, utilizing frictionless cashless payment systems and data-driven crowd management to push the physical limits of the 277-acre park. The State Fair of Texas has moved beyond survival. It has developed a self-sustaining system for high-volume engagement in a landscape where traditional regional events are fading. If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden systems behind everyday America, subscribe to Can You Guess Why? Every week, we decode the engineering, history, economics, and psychology hiding in plain sight. And tell us in the comments, which American mystery should we uncover next?